Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, March 13th through Sunday, March 19th. I am recording this on Saturday, so that is going to give some of you an opportunity to go ahead and get some warning. If you aren't already tracking, we do have a full moon tomorrow on Sunday. That is Sunday the 12th. It's going to be, I believe, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And full moons are an excellent opportunity for you to release things that are holding you back from obtaining your hopes and desires. So maybe you notice that you've got an anger problem. Maybe you're like really cursing and yelling at other drivers. That would be a good opportunity for you to let that anger go. Or maybe it's something bigger. Maybe you're really having a hard time really not loving yourself, maybe criticizing yourself, cutting yourself down, tearing yourself down. That would be a good opportunity to ask that God, Jesus, and angels help you release that. In a way that, I recommend to clients and I do myself, but go with whatever your heart and your own intuition is guiding you to do, because we all do have intuition. It's just for some of us, it's turned and amped up a little bit more, but we all have it. So whatever you're feeling guided to do that. But something I like to do, because it just physically feels good, is when there's a full moon, I will write down the things that I want to release. And then I'll do a prayer asking that God and the angels help me release it. And then I burn it. And I actually invite friends over and we'll go outside and we'll burn our little list of things that we're trying to get rid of. And it does help you, the prayer helps and makes that happen. But to be able to physically burn something, energetically, it kind of gives it some power and helps you really, physically feel like you're releasing and letting those things go. So make use of the full moon however you'd like to make use of it, but this is an opportunity to release things. I would not recommend putting together a list of things you want to manifest, because the full moon is when you let things go. The new moon is what you would utilize to bring things in and manifest things. So use this opportunity to let things go. And don't be discouraged for those of you that are here in the U.S. that are going to be losing an hour of sleep. Don't let that hour of sleep keep you back from doing any releasing work that you want to do. Because don't forget, it is daylight savings, so we are going to be losing an hour of sleep tonight. So if you are one of the people who has to work on Sunday, or you don't want to be late for your church service or any meetings or anything you need to get to, you will want to remember to go ahead and set your clocks forward when you go to sleep tonight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You will notice this week I've already laid the cards out. That is because when I was praying and shuffling over them, some cards were already starting to fall out. So I went ahead and laid those out. I'm glad that I did, because with the last deck we had 2 of each come out. And for those of you that are interested and you like to do readings and play with cards, we are pulling this week from Mario Dugai's Oracle of the Angels, John Holland's Psychic Tarot of the Heart, John Holland's Psychic Tarot. I've also prayed over and shuffled the Angel Answer cards by Doreen Virtue. We will pull one for each situation at the end in case there's anything that has not been answered for you. And I have also prayed over and shuffled my Lenormands and my Sibilas. If we need any clarifiers, we will pull those as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Many thanks to all of you for subscribing, following, sharing. Thank you also for your patience. I tell people all the time I have the best clients in the world, and that's true. I do appreciate your patience as I wrap up these final stages of my retirement. I have to say, after spending an entire week at a class for my retirement this past week, it is a lot easier to get into the military than it is to get out. But I am finalizing and finishing those things, and as soon as that is all done, I will open up and start receiving new clients and scheduling new appointments. So for everyone that has been so patient and gracious with me the past couple months, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. When I do open up to clients, I will probably put out a special offer for everyone when we first get started to thank you for your patience and understanding during this time of transition in my life. So looks like you guys can see those. And you get a glimpse of the Yorkies as they decide to walk in and out as well. So it is your lucky day. And for those of you that are going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day on Friday, hopefully it is safe and enjoyable for all of you. Hopefully it brings lots of luck. I know here in the States, people like to just, everybody looks at it like a big time to just go out and get drunk, enjoying green beer. But there are things of luck that do occur I have a couple friends, they actually met, oh my gosh, I don't know if it was 20 years ago, but it was a long time ago. And they actually met at a St. Patrick's Day party. So who knows? Maybe it will bring you some luck this week, and I do hope that it does. So let's see what is going on here. Okay. So the first situation, if you look across here, we have 5 cards. The first one is partnerships and alliances, giving and receiving, heal, light, and inner child. Okay. Now in John Holland's decks, these are tarot decks. They are based off of traditional tarot. They are a little more user-friendly. So for people that are just starting to read cards and do that, it's because there's so many meanings and innuendos and things between, you know, tarot cards. And as you're learning them, they're good cards to use. But he breaks them up by color. And, you know, he has them in red, which is your physical. He has them green, which is emotions. He has them in, oh gosh, what is his communication ones that he does? I think they're mental, which are the swords. And, yeah, those are his, you know, indigo. And then he has the violet ones. And these are both violet. And the violets in traditional tarot are your wands. And they're cards, you know, that talk about things that we're passionate about. The spark of life in us. What, you know, what keeps us going? What motivates us? What inspires us? Our principles, our goals, our aspirations. It also speaks of our willpower. And also spirit. Because both of these are from the spirit. Both of these are wands. In this deck, it is talking about spirits, things being, you know, divinely guided. So many of you are going through some changes in life, and you have been going through changes. You've had to let things go. For everyone this week, it is being spiritually guided, divinely led. For some of you, you feel like you have no control. And it's okay. Instead of looking at that like it's a frustration, because some of you are frustrated, they're saying, because things are taking so long. Because they're saying for most of you, the things that you've had to give up, you now see big picture on why you've had to do that. It's making sense, but you're ready to like really burst out and move forward with the new beginnings. You're just kind of getting frustrated because things are taking so long and they're slow. And some of you are contemplating giving up. But they're saying not to do that. Now, for some of you, you have an opportunity. For most of you, it's a new partner, a new love interest. For some of you, it is for a small number, they're saying it's like a business alliance, like a business partner, a new business venture. But for most of you, it's a love partnership. It's a new love interest. You've had to do a lot to get to this point, but they're saying that the fruits of your labor, you've really been planting those seeds. They are starting to blossom. You are going to notice that, and a number of you have noticed that. You've had a lot of synchronicities, a lot of signs, a lot of things pointing to this opportunity with this person, and the potential of, okay, they're saying it's not potential, the opportunity, because it's not a potential. You really truly do have an opportunity with this person to start new, to have a new beginning. But and they're saying it's a beginning that's mutually beneficial, where there's an even exchange of effort and energy and love and reciprocation and support. Because some of you have left a partnership, a union, a marriage, a relationship where things were not balanced. Many of you were giving too much and your partner was not reciprocating that. Your partner was not giving. And it left you feeling drained and financially drained. Because the next cards that we go into, we have the giving and receiving, card number 6, and we have heal, card number 17. Now, 6, this is a card that talks about balance. Relationships having a loving balance where, you know, you're not always going to give 50-50, but, you know, if you're giving 70% and they're giving 30%, Okay, well then a couple months later, then maybe they're giving 80%, you're giving 20%, because it's not always 50-50. There's always going to be one is giving more than the other, but it should be back and forth. It should be balanced. It shouldn't be one partner constantly giving and the other person just sucking it up like a sponge and never returning, never reciprocating. Because that's when, and it's like that in all relationships. You can have that in friendships. You can have that in business partnerships, love relationships. If you're constantly giving, and it's an energetic balance thing, if you're constantly giving and you are never receiving, at some point you're going to feel unappreciated. You're going to feel as though you are taken for granted. You are going to feel used. And what will often happen is it turns into anger and disappointment, frustration, resentment. And a number of you, they're saying you're at that point and you have been at that point. Okay, they're saying for some of you, it's a recent past of being at that point. They're saying for some of you, you came into this person, so maybe your partner, your love interest, you came in like a white, a knight on a white horse, coming in to rescue, coming in to help that person solve their problems, help them with their financial issues, help them with their health issues, just help them with life. You were like their benefactor. You were supporting them. The red deck of cards, well, the suit of his cards in this deck, those do talk about physical things, material things, money. But you were providing for him or her. Financially assisting them, financially taking care of their problems. You were just there. You were the rock. But the problem is you gave everything that you had to them, and it was not balanced, and it was not reciprocated. And it's left you at a place where you've had to let this person go. If you look at this Heal card, and this is Major Arcana, we'll go over that in a moment, but you see these broken chains. So for a number of you, you had this person that was totally draining. You finally have broken free of them, which is what you were meant to do. You were meant to break free of them in order to heal your heart, in order to move forward. So they are congratulating you on doing that. For some of you, you're at the very final stages of emotionally freeing yourself of this person, this situation, which is divinely guided. Because that person drained you of everything you have. If you look here, you've got, hands open to receiving. So, he or she they were definitely open to receiving, and you were definitely open to giving. Because for some of you, you're the archetype where, you want to go in, you want to be the knight, saving the day, saving that person, rescuing them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, when you rush in to help them and to save them, at some point, they need to do some things for you. So that you're not constantly giving. And for a lot of you, you were constantly giving financially. Financially, they drained you. And now it's left you at a place where you've closed off your heart. If you can see in this card, he's got this cross over his heart, where you've put a wall up around your heart, and you're not trusting. You're not open to receiving this new person that's come into your life, because for most of you, you do have a new person. You do have a new love interest. For some of you, a new potential business partner, but you know who it is. And they're there, they're ready, but they're waiting on you to be ready, and you've built up a wall because of being used in the past. You're fearful that you can't trust this person, that they're going to use you as well. But at the same time, they're saying there's no communication going on. They're pointing out this blue flag. There's not been any communication between the two of you. But it is a strong connection. If you look in this, you've got these two hands interlocked. You've got the flags on both sides. Purple represents the spiritual side of things. This is divinely guided. So for some of you, this is a divine love partner. It can be a soulmate. It can be a twin flame. For some, it could be a twin soul. But it's a divine partnership. It's a divine connection. It's being divinely guided and pushed. But there's no communications occurring between the two of you. Blue is the color of Archangel Michael. In this deck, and blue it signifies communications. But communications are going to need to occur. They're pointing at this is kind of like a spear. It's hurting your heart and hurting their heart, because that's not occurring. But the reason it's not occurring is because you're fearful that this person can't be trusted. You're fearful that they're going to hurt you and use you as the person has in the past. And you know, it can really hurt us if we think someone loves us and cares for us, and then we discover that they were just using us to meet their financial needs. Because we all deep down want the fairy tale. I mean, even though there's a lot of guys who don't want to trip on an emotion and open up and have that deep connection, we all deep down do want that. We want someone that we can open ourselves up to, that we can share our hearts with, our hopes, our dreams, our fantasies. I mean, we just want to bear it all with them and know that they're going to be our best friend through thick and thin. And when we think that we found someone like that and we find that we were just simply being used, it breaks our heart, and it naturally causes us to build a big wall up around our heart. But they're breaking you free of that as well. So a lot of you have undergone tremendous heart healing, where you've had to forgive that person, you've had to forgive yourself. You see there's this cross above his heart center. Now this is a major arcana. This card in the traditional tarot, this is actually the star. We'll cover that a little bit more here in a second. But this is a card that talks about, you know, forgiveness. You see how his arms are opened up? You know, being open to receiving. Receiving love, receiving this new person, this gift that has been sent to you. Healing our hearts so that we're open to relationships. Opening ourselves to our hopes, our dreams, and opening ourselves up so we can receive those things. But that really hinges off of forgiving that person, forgiving ourselves for things we did or didn't do. Because for a number of you, it's been a very emotionally trying time. Very heavy weight on your shoulders. And because things were not as they were perceived, there's a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of blame, a lot of disappointment. But those things need to be released. Those things need to be forgiven. And a lot of you have done that. Now they're saying for some of you, you're still needing to do a little bit of forgiving yourself. But they're congratulating because most of you, you have been able to forgive that person. You have seen the truth of the situation. You have been working hard on healing your heart, on forgiving yourself, on realizing that it wasn't you. But the part that you're struggling with is being open to receiving, coming into a place of hope, a place of faith, trusting, being open to receiving this new person. Because if you look, you know, in the traditional tarot, this is the star. And if you look at the traditional tarot card, there's this woman, you know, she's bent over and she's got these two pitchers of water. And she's, you know, depicting true, complete faith because she's like dumping water out, but knowing that, you know, her cups are going to be filled. And actually, let me see if I can reach these. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, there she is. Put these back. Okay. So this is traditional tarot, the star. And if you can see there, she's dumping the pictures out. She has perfect faith. And she also has faith in the connection between earth and the heavens. She knows that everything's being handled perfectly. Everything has divine timing. She knows that although she dumps out these pitchers of water, she has no worries at all that they're going to be refilled, replenished. Everything's going to be restored. She has complete faith in that. So a number of you have come through this very hard, difficult, trying time. And you've had to lose, yeah, they're saying a number of you, you've lost a lot. You've lost a lot, some of you financially. You've hit rock bottom. For some of you, you're afraid to move forward because you've got this new love interest, but you're like, how in the heck are they going to ever receive me? I don't have the money I used to have because, you know, he from my past has drained me. They financially drained me. I've had to dump out both pitchers And for some, you have even had to go get loans. And you feel that you're at rock bottom and you have nothing else, nothing to give, nothing to sustain a life with someone else. And for some of you, you're even just having a hard time yourself, struggling because you're used to a certain lifestyle, and it has shifted because of having to let that person go. But your pitchers are going to be replenished. They are going to be restored, and they will be overflowing. But you're at a point that you have to have faith in that, because some of you are getting into a state of depression. And some of you are getting frustrated because, okay, they're saying some of you, you've got this new love interest, you want to move forward with this person, but you're like, you don't feel capable of doing it because you don't have the money, you don't have the means, you're fearful they're going to accept you. You're fearful things aren't going to turn around, you're fearful things aren't going to get better, and you're creating self-fulfilling prophecies. Trust, have faith. This is, you're protected by the divine. If you look in this next card we're going to go over, she's holding a dove. You are protected. This is, and this union, this relationship that you're going to be embarking on, and for some of you, this business partnership, it's protected by the heavens. But you have to open up to it. They're saying you have to immerse yourself in the waters of faith. And water also represents emotions. So for some of you, because of this wall that you've built up, you aren't allowing yourself to immerse yourself in the emotions and the feelings for this person. And for some of you, as part of the healing your heart, you haven't allowed yourself to feel the emotions that you've felt because of your past experiences. So for some of you, see how they're all alone. Some of you have allowed yourselves to just go inward into your shell. You haven't allowed yourself, so you had to let this person go, and they drained, for some of you, they drained you financially. You haven't allowed yourself to feel those emotions. So you're keeping this anger, this resentment, this frustration bottled up inside. For some of you, you're dealing with it with alcohol, pornography, drugs, addictions, behaviors, because you don't want to immerse yourself in the emotions. You don't want to feel it. Now, in the line of work I do, I know that that stuff typically is going to down the road come up as something as a cancer or a tumor or some type of disease. So you have to feel it in order to heal it. So for some of you, in order to move forward, you're going to have to allow yourself to immerse yourself in these emotions. So if you're angry, if you're frustrated, let yourself cry, let yourself scream. You know, go for a drive in the country, roll your windows down and scream if that's what you need to do to release it. And let it go so you can free yourself and move forward. If you need a good cry, soak in some Epsom salt. Fill the tub up with Epsom salt because it's amazing. Epsom salt, it's just magnesium sulfate is what it is. You can get the cheap stuff at your local Walmart, Target, local grocer. Fill up the tub, put some Epsom salts in there. What magnesium sulfate does is it releases physical toxins. So, you know, if you have sore muscles, your muscles will feel amazing the next day. But it also releases emotional toxins. So what people tend to find is if they have a lot of stuff bottled up inside, when they soak in the tub in some Epsom salts, suddenly they'll just start sobbing and crying. And sometimes it's uncontrollable and they don't even understand why. It's because the Epsom salts are helping you release those things that are toxic, that are not good for you. And these emotions for some of you are very toxic and you have to let those go. And then for some of you, they're saying that you need to allow yourself to feel the emotions for this new person. Because you're keeping yourself cold and isolated. And so for some of you, because you're not trusting, you're not having faith because of the things that have depleted you, totally drained you. And for most of you, it's the very recent past. Now, it had been dragging on for some of you for years. For some of you, they've been trying to have you separate from this person for years. It was, they're saying for a number of you, it was a number of years in the making. But they've finally broken you free of this person. It was a karmic lesson. You've finally broken free. You've learned the lesson. It's just doing the final cleanup work to release yourself from that. They are congratulating you on doing that. It's not been easy. And you have successfully been able to do that. But you're slipping into a place of despair, depression, loneliness, for some of you, giving up. Don't lose your faith. Don't lose your hope. Your cups are going to be restored. They are going to be replenished. They are going to overflow. Trust that. Have faith in that. Now, the next card we have is light. And I'm going to read these because essentially what these two cards, you got two cards. You've got light and you've got inner child. Essentially what these are saying is to, you know, they were saying earlier, have faith, trust, but they're also saying have fun, enjoy, be like a child. You know, children are lighthearted. They have trust. They have faith. They also enjoy simple things. They enjoy jumping in puddles and doing those things. Now, let me get this book and find that real quick because they want me to read these. Okay, light. Choose to seek out the light in your life. Focus on the light that burns bright within your heart, and you will illuminate the darkness that you feel surround you. There's no need to fear the unknown. Embrace all parts of yourself and the full experience of life. By facing your shadows, you will move into a newfound sense of balance and peace. And there's a little affirmation on the bottom that says, I face my shadows with love in my heart and transform them to ever greater light. I seek out the light in my life, and I am grateful for my many blessings. I'll go ahead and read this one real quick. Okay. Inner child. Within each of us dwells an inner child, that part of us which remains small, innocent, and playful, while the rest of us grew up. That child is calling for you now to reconnect with the more childlike part of yourself, the one that believes in magic, who approaches life fearlessly, and who always has time to stop and play in a puddle or kick around autumn leaves. This reconnection will enable you to approach life with a lighter heart and to have more fun. And then the affirmation on the bottom is, joyfully I open up to the magic of life. I allow myself to laugh, play, dream, and be silly. I welcome every situation with simplicity and flexibility. I live cheerfully and in the magic of the moment. So you're there. So for those of you that have this, for most of all of you, it's a person you've had to give up. Now, for a small number, it could be a situation. It could be a work situation. But they're saying most of you, majority of you, it's a love interest. For some of you, it's a business partner. And for a small number, it's a situation tied to work. Hopefully that's more than just one person. But don't allow yourself to slip into depression. Bring yourself back to a state of faith and optimism. It is watched over by the heavens. You see, you've got all these little fairies here and the lights shining down. Trust and have faith. They're saying they're actually trying to light your life on fire right now. Allow them to do that. They're saying for a number of you, you need to step out of your own way. There's a lot of over-analyzing going on. That's leading to the dread, to the doubt, to the fear. Causing you to be fearful of taking any steps forward. But trust, have faith. Ask for their help. Remember, the angels cannot help unless you ask for help. So say you're having a really hard time. Maybe you're just totally down in the dumps. And you're like, okay, he totally broke me or she totally broke me. They took every bit of money I have. I do have this new person that I really want to start a life with. I'd like to have a family with this person. I'd like to move forward with him. But, I'm broke. I have no money. And so now you've just gone inward. You sit in your living room by yourself, drinking and playing online. I don't know. But use this full moon to get yourself out of that. Take this opportunity tonight. Take a soak in some Epsom salts. Let yourself feel the emotions. Let that frustration go. Let that anger go. Scream, cry, kick a box. Do whatever it is that's going to be productive and helping you release that. And then on the full moon, which you have to wait until we hit the full moon, and to be safe, I wouldn't do anything until after noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Look at the time zone. So Eastern Standard, for those of you, because I've got a lot of people overseas, look and see what the time is in New York City, New York. That is Eastern Standard Time, and then adjust accordingly. If you go to Google, it will tell you what time that would be in your time zone. But take a look and see what time it is for your time zone. Anytime afternoon, you've got 24 hours to go ahead and do your stuff to release. So if you've got anger, frustration, disappointment, sadness, sorrow, list it. I mean, you can have a big laundry list. It'll make a nice big flame. Maybe you can do some s'mores over it. Create a bonfire out in your backyard. Throw your list in that and pray that God, Jesus, and angels finally help you let that junk go so you can move forward. And then do some fun things. Do some fun things. Be like a child. Jump in a puddle. Sing. Have a little concert in your bathroom, in your shower while you're getting ready for work. Do something fun. Let that inner child have fun. So for some of you, they're saying the rejection of this person and the heartache that this person has caused you has brought back some self-limiting beliefs that you've had since you were a child. So for some of you, they're saying your father made you feel as though you weren't enough, that you weren't, they always made you feel as though you could do better, that what you did was not enough, and that was not true. Now they're saying he was, I think for most of you it's a father, for some of you it could be your mother, but it was being done to make you the best you that you can be. Just the delivery could have been a little different, could have been a little better, come from a little bit more loving fashion, but it wasn't from a cruel, mean-hearted place. He did truly love you. He wanted the best for you. For some of you, it's like your firstborn. And he was coming from a place of pride. Pride of, okay, this is my boy. This is my firstborn. Oh my gosh, look how amazing he is. And he just wanted you to be the best that you could be. But it made you doubt yourself. So what this person has done for you has sent you back to that place. But pray, ask the angels to help you get out of that, because you are amazing. And for those of you that they're bringing up this as a father situation, and for some of you it could be a mother, your father's very proud of you. They're saying you did good. You did real good. Because some of you are looking at, so this was a marriage that fell apart. And you're looking at it as though that was a big failure, but it was not. It was a lesson. You've learned. You've become a better you. And they're saying you have no idea how much better it's about to get with a new person entering your life. So allow yourself to have fun. Do something silly. Do something goofy. And for some of you need to communicate. I'll point out these birds. So if you look here, you've got a couple red birds. You've got a yellow bird. So you know red signifies faith, power, new beginnings, creativity, a creative force. You know, making things happen. And yellow signifies joy and positivity and optimism. So they're saying, forge. Some of you are afraid to have, so for some of you, you've got this new person, this new love interest. For some of you, this new potential business partner. You know how they were saying earlier that there's not been communications, or communications haven't been flowing? But you're spiritually being guided to this person to forge a new beginning, forge a union with them. For some of you, they're saying it's destiny. It's tied to the destiny's gate and things that we've gone through. But it is destined. For some of you, you actually had to get out of a love triangle. They're pointing out the number 3. So for some of you, this is a divine partnership. You know, when you look at twins, it's a union between a divine masculine, divine feminine, and God. It's a trinity. You have 3 at the top of that card. Some of you had to free yourselves from a love triangle. But because of things that have occurred in the past, you're fearful of having communications. But they're saying to not be fearful of these communications. So for some of you, maybe you had a business partner take you over and you have no money. You've got this new potential business partner, but you're afraid of, oh my gosh, what if I tell them I'm broke? I'm poor, but boy, I'm a hard worker. I'll get things done. Don't be fearful of having that conversation. Forge forward fearlessly like a child. Because having that conversation is going to make things happen. It will get things moving forward, and it will get things moving forward that are going to bring you joy, happiness. It's going to make your life magical again. And they're saying it's not just conversation for business partners. So for those of you that have this new love interest, maybe there's a triangle and you kept going back and forth with this person. And you feel like, oh my gosh, there's no way they're going to accept me now because of the things that have occurred in the past. And then when I'm totally honest and I open up and completely bare everything and share my emotions and share what's occurred, they're going to slam the door in my face. Or if I share that I'm broke, I have no money, I have no way to create a new beginning, you're fearful that things are going to happen. Don't be fearful. Same thing. Have those conversations. Be fearless, like a child. Trust. This whole thing's about faith and opening up. It's divinely guided. Just trust. And be optimistic, because a lot of you are really stuck. They're saying you're stuck in your head. You're stuck in your thoughts. And that's blocking you. Okay, so situation 2. Reading these across, we have stand your ground, opportunity beckons, success, and releasing. Now, the first card is number 7. That is a card that speaks about being on your path. And you have this figure. He's illuminated. So a number of you, you're going through a situation that is requiring a lot of strength and courage. You're being tested, you're being challenged, and you're wanting to give up, is what they're saying. You really just want to surrender and give up. But they're trying to get you to be brave, to hang in there, to stay true to what you want, true to what you desire, true to the outcome. They're trying to continue moving you forward. And they're trying to keep you focused on what it is that you desire, what it is that you want. But you're wanting to give up. Why? Okay. The next card that we have is now this first card, the stand your ground, that's a spirit card that again talks about the divine, being divinely guided, things of passion. God, divine spirit guiding you. Then we go into one of his cards from his the emotions suit in his deck. You know, sometimes this card talks about boredom, frustration, discouragement, despair. You know, when you really want a relationship, typically a love relationship, and you've not had any success. You keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, it's just not going anywhere. And for a number of you, you have a love interest that you have been trying to move forward with. You've been trying to move ahead with. And for most of you, it is a divinely guided relationship. So it's a soulmate. It's a twin flame. For some, it's a twin soul. But for most, it's a soulmate. Because twins are rare. But it's a divine love. And you feel it in your soul, you feel it in your heart, but it's just drug on for so long that you're just giving up. Because you're not seeing any success. And they're saying that a number of you are beginning to think, oh my gosh, I've just made this up in my head. There is no way that I have a potential partnership like this because it's just not moving forward. He won't talk to me. She won't call me back. They won't communicate. They clearly don't want anything with me. They're seeing other people. They're in relationships with other people. They're not letting their past go. So this enthusiasm, this joy, because you look, here's this infinity symbol. If you can see this right here, you've got the infinity symbol. So this person, you could create an amazing world, a magical life with that person. You know that. So many of you that are in this situation, you have this divine love partner, and this is the infinity symbol, infinite love. But you've seen how magical it can be. You can see the life that the two of you will have together. But that person, we all have free will, and that person just doesn't seem to want it. They won't respond. They won't communicate. They pursue others. They want to be, for what you're seeing, they want to be with others. So you had this excitement, this joy, this, oh my gosh, we're going to conquer the world together. You see this confident stance. This is the one. This is a gift from God. We are going to be an amazing, dynamic duo. We're going to show people what love is really all about. But you've had to face heartbreak of it just not going anywhere. And a number of you are just thinking about totally giving up, throwing the towel in. Because this excitement that you've had is just totally diminished. It's not there anymore. You don't have this joy any longer. You don't have this excitement. And in order, to energetically move forward, you have to have some joy. You have to have some optimism. You have to, think and know that it's going to happen. Because if you get to the place where you're like, well, heck, I just give up. This person, obviously, they have free will. They don't want me. They don't want this. No matter how good it can be, no matter how much a blessing it is, they just don't want it. They've turned their back on this connection we have. So you know what? I'm going to turn my back on the connection too, because I've had it. I can't do this anymore, is the state where a number of you are at. And when you get to the place similar to up here, so some of you are kind of like in a state of depression over it, which is interesting because people in situation 1 are in a state of depression as well. But you're in a state of depression where you're just like, I'm over it. This breaks my heart. I love them, but it's just not moving. It's not going to move. But when you start to have those thoughts of it's not moving, it's not going to move, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move on. I'm going to find someone. For some of you, they're saying for some of you, you're just like, forget it. Come hell or high water, I'm finding someone else because I'm over this. It hurts too much to be connected and love someone that much and have them blatantly not want the same thing repeatedly. And for some of you, you're just like, okay, I've just made this up in my head. I'm crazy. I've made this craziness up in my head. I'm turning my back on it. I'm going elsewhere now. But in order for things to turn around, you have to shift your perspective. Because all hope is not lost, they're saying. Because they're saying what you're seeking, what you desire, what you want, it's there. It's close. But people in situation 1 have been through something for a very long time, for years. For a number of you, you've been going through this for years, which is why you're just discouraged and you're just feeling like it's hopeless. It's hopeless. It's dead. It's dead. Let's just slap a bow on it and press on. Energetically, in order to move things forward, it takes a shift in perspective. If we think that things are over, that they're dead, it is self-fulfilling prophecies. If we think that there's no hope, there will be no hope. So for some of you, this is a really strong, high divine connection for a large number of you twin flames. This is not an advocate for people that are in bad relationships, because some people really are. If you're in an abusive relationship, physically, verbally, I'm not here to tell you what to do. This is not talking about that situation. This is not a situation. That is not a situation for you to stay in. This is talking about people who are truly in divine connection. Those types of divine relationships that are at the point of giving up. Don't give up yet. All hope's not lost, is what they're saying. Because a lot of you are wanting to give up. You're kidding. Okay. So a lot of us are at that point of wanting to give up. So, and it's funny because right when we're at the point that we want to give up, we'll just have obnoxious signs. So for a lot of you, you get signs about this person all the time. You're constantly getting signs. But a number of you are at the point of just like, why? Is this some cruel joke? It's funny, I was gone last week for my retirement class, and I got home last night. I was driving home, and of course there's delays. There's always something that pops up. But I had to stop. There was this bad car accident on the highway, and I stopped to make sure everybody was okay. And anyhow, made it home. I come squealing in front of my house. I leave my garage door open because my bladder was about to burst, and I run into the house, and I hear this knocking on my door. And it's my neighbor guy, and he had picked this package up off my front porch. And it's funny. Let me see if I can reach it. Okay. So he brings this package to me, and this is the back of it. And here's the front of this package. Like, well, what is that? I have a gift. Pampers Salmons Club, they sent me this gift. And so I open this box, and it's like, welcome to the mom and dad's club. And I'm like, it has all this baby stuff. And I gave applesauce to my neighbors, but it has everything. It has baby wipes. It has body wash. It has a Thomas the Train pull-up. And, because we all get signs and synchronicities. And for me, this is a sign and synchronicity. But I'm in a similar state where I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is some sick and cruel, twisted joke, because the thing that I desire, the person I love, the person I want to be with, doesn't want me. So I have to give up. But you throw these cruel synchronicities at me. This is just mean. It's just mean. So for some of you, a number of you are in the same similar situation. Because me, I want to get married. I want to have a family. I know exactly who I would like to have that with. I'm a twin flame. He's amazing. He's remarkable. We both had to learn and go through lessons and growth and things. A lot of people that are in twin, so for most of you, this is a twin flame thing. So for those of you that want some twin flame messages, here you go. They're delivering for you today. We are at a pivotal point for twins. A lot of twins are at the point of giving up, even myself included. Doesn't mean that the love's not going to be there. You just get the point that, because we all do have free will. And if it's just not moving forward, it tends to be the time, just when you're about to give up, that the angels will bombard you. Because we always get signs and synchronicities. Everyone does, but especially twins. You'll constantly see their name, hear their name. Signs are obnoxious, but they're especially obnoxious when you want to give up and turn your back on it. And a lot of twins are at that point right now, where they're just like, I can't do this anymore. Never had my heart broken like this, and don't even know why. It's never hurt so bad. And for a lot of twins, it physically hurts to not be with this person who truly is our other half. So for those of you that are listening to that, twin flames are truly each other's other half. There's a divine masculine, there's a divine feminine. They are each other's other half. We grow up, we're always trying to find the other half of us. And this person, we should never try to find someone who completes us. We complete ourselves. And when it comes to twin flames, you cannot come into union until you are both healed. And you both remember that you're amazing. You're rock stars, you're both amazing in your own rights, but you are each other's other half. And you continue to be like magnets bouncing back and forth into each other until you're both finally healed and you can come together. But a lot of you are at the point of you're about to have success. You're about to come together. They're saying don't give up just yet. Because a number of you are at that point. And that's when they send you, when you're at the point of just, forget it, I'm raising the white flag, they'll send you crazy things to say, no, don't give up yet. So for those of you in this situation, you're getting crazy, bizarre signs too. Don't give up. Not just yet. This next card that you have, and I'm going to read this for you, is success. So let me find this real quick in our book. Okay. Success. Through your hard work, let's pull this up. Through your hard work and dedication in one aspect of your life, you are about to experience great success. Continue to hold a vision of the outcome you desire and allow yourself to daydream about it, all unfolding exactly as you would love. You already have everything it takes to succeed in this situation. You now need to surrender and let it happen. And then there is a statement on the bottom. I have in me all that it takes to achieve a fulfilled and happy life. All my power lies in the way I think. I consciously attract joy, love, abundance, and happiness into my life. I deserve to succeed. And the next card, let's go ahead and find that one real quick. Okay, is releasing. They're talking about releasing things that are holding you back. Let's read this real quick. Yep. Okay. Releasing. When we hold on to feelings of anger, hurt, jealousy, and resentment, we allow their negative energy to build up inside us, ensuring that the pain we experience at some point in the past continues to cause suffering in the present moment. This card signifies that it's time to release those feelings and be freed from the hurt you are essentially inflicting upon yourself by not letting go. And then the affirmation on the bottom is, I release all grudges, all judgments, all blame from the past. I express my feelings openly and honestly so that I can be free and regain my lightness of being. So for those of you in this situation, it's also a good opportunity to use the full moon tomorrow. Write down the feelings. You know, if you've been resentful because, okay, I'm resentful that this is taking so long. I'm angry that this is taking so long. I'm angry and saddened. So maybe some of you are sad and angry that you feel like, okay, she or he doesn't want you. They keep choosing someone other than you. You know, and for some of you, it could be other factors affecting the situation. Maybe you had someone cheat on you in the past. Maybe there's been a love triangle with the person you're meant to be with. Maybe there's some resentment, anger about that. Maybe that's bringing up, again, feelings of not being able to trust men or not being able to trust women. Maybe that would be something good for you to release. But use the opportunity, use this full moon that we're going to have and release those things. Release the frustration, the sadness, the sorrow. They're saying all these things that you think are pitfalls that are keeping the two of you apart. Just release them. Also release any expectations you have of how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, you know. Just release it. Just let it all go. Because you're standing in your own way. Similar to how people in a situation won't understand in their way because they're fearful it's not going to happen. You're standing in your way because they're saying it's been so long in the making that a number of you have like a large mass of like disappointments that are blocking, they're creating blocks. You have to let those disappointments go. And you have to come back to a place of trusting, knowing, and having faith. Because for those of you that this is a twin flame thing, the way it typically works with twin flames is the divine feminine will do quite a bit of work on herself. And then she will, you know, get to the point where she's nearing the end of her work. She's feeling kind of better, but then she's like, well, dang, is he doing anything? Is he just sitting over there doing nothing? I'm going to say masculine and feminine. You know, I know that there are same sex. I know that it's the opposite. Sometimes they're actually men who are the divine feminine. They don't realize it initially. And they are with a physically feminine woman. She's actually divine masculine. But I know there's things that are outside the box, but there's always divine feminine. There's always divine masculine. Way it typically works is the divine feminine will wake up first. She will go through a lot of growth, a lot of healing, but then she starts to get a little frustrated with him because she's like, okay, why is he not doing any work? Where's he at? Why is he not working in my direction? Why is he not getting his stuff taken care of? He is. You just don't see it. But what tends to happen is because you're not seeing it, you just start to kind of get just mad and angry and for some just pissed off that, you know, why, you know, a lot of, you know, clients and twins that I talk to, because I have a large number of twin flames, being a blue-ray twin myself. And they just get to a point where they're like, well, what in the world? You know, they feel like they're shouldering all the work. You know, okay, why isn't he doing anything? Why am I over here having to do all this? And he doesn't seem to give a care. Doesn't care, isn't doing anything, has his head buried in the sand. And for some, oh, he's just chasing everyone else. But things aren't what they seem. They're truly not what they seem. So for like some of you, you know, you had to go inward and you had to start doing a lot of spiritual growth and healing. And your friends and family thought that you were in some big, deep depression. But things weren't what they seemed. You were doing a lot of heart healing, a lot of growing, a lot of developing, a lot of becoming a better, advanced you. You weren't depressed. You weren't sad. You were just evolving, awakening. And then you've come out of your shell and you've proven them that, okay, things were not what they seemed. So for a number, you're at that point with your twin where you're like, okay, I've had it. I've not seen anything. I'm not seeing any progress. I've not seen these things. I'm not seeing him doing any work. But things are not what they seem. They're not. He has put in as much work as you, if not more. You just don't know that yet. And you won't know it until you let the walls down and clear yourself of that energy that's blocking him so that he can come forward. Because twins are twins. They're mirrors of each other, just different aspects. So right now, you're fearful that it's not going to happen. You're fearful of being rejected. You're fearful he's not going to love you. You're fearful things are just, they're dead, they're over. He's fearful in his own right because you're truly just mirrors of each other. Oh, and the dogs are going to talk to their best friend. Allie, shh. No, you can go see Zoe in a minute. Shh. But you're just mirrors of each other. So you're fearful in putting up this wall. Allie, shh, come here. Let's get your peep. Sorry, the dogs love their next door neighbor. You can go see Matt and Zoe in a minute. So you're fearful. You've put up this wall. You think things aren't going to happen. Let that wall down. Use this full moon to release that. You're just a mirror of each other. He has his own walls up that he is taking care of and he's working on. But don't let that be a block on each other, and don't give up. You will have success. It will be beautiful. Don't worry about the house, the whens, the whys. You just need to remove everything that's keeping you from love. That's all. And have some patience. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. A couple quick clarifiers on the first situation in case there's anything that we missed. The first card we have is La Alegría. And this is a card that talks about, this is cheerfulness, it's celebrations, it's family, friends. Then we have the Gran Signore. And this is, Allie, stop. And this is a card that's, it's the man of high society, it's the Lord, it's, traditional, this would be the emperor. But look, he's dressed in all this finery. He's the man in charge. He's the man with power, money. And then the last card that we have is La Donna Servizio. And that is the maid, the helper, the servant. Okay. So for situation one, getting a couple things. So for some of you, you had they're saying it's love. Okay, so you had this connection, this lover. So we'll say, so he had this woman, this wife, this girlfriend, this fiance, but with her were these. It was like a family unit. But that family unit made him feel very powerful. It also was financially abundant. So maybe he was married to or engaged to or involved with a woman whose family had money or brought him money. Maybe he went into business with her and her family and that produced money, income. But that relationship's now over. That connection's gone. And now he's feeling like a mate. He's feeling as though he's not good enough. He doesn't have the financial means, financial capabilities. Now for some, they're saying same thing, with someone. Now I'm going to say he because it's a man on the card and he's the center of the three. But this could be a woman. It could be a woman, she was married to a man and they had a lot of money. So, you can flip the genders as to whatever is applicable to your situation. You'll know it's a message for you if it's really resonating with you. But for some of you, same situation, he was with a woman, married to a woman, engaged to a woman, back and forth with a woman. Had to let her go, let her family go, let that affluence go, the money go, the financial means, and he has this new love interest, and he thinks that she is lesser than this family he's leaving, or he thinks that her family is lesser. For some of you in this situation, things aren't as they seem. They're saying for some of you, you had to leave a woman that you were financially involved with her family. Maybe for some of you, there were even estate things monetarily that you were invested in that were left for the two of you. And you had to leave that all behind. And the woman that you're going to move forward with, you think that she's not as high on the food chain, but they're saying for a number of you, she's actually higher on the food chain than this family that you're leaving. You just don't know it. That's funny. So you think she's a maid, and she's actually higher on the food chain than your ex. in her family. Or, you know, if you're a woman, your ex and his family. That's funny. Okay. And it is definitely about love. Amore. Now, situation 2. Okay. So, we have the conversations. And this is jealousy. And this is, you know, the card for its true meaning is, you know, distraught by jealousy. You see he's got a gun to his head there. But it's also excessive attachment and suspicion and doubts and worries. And then we have melancholy, sadness, depression, sorrow. You see there's a cross here like she's sitting over a grave site. And this is for situation 2. So for some, there were conversations in the past that didn't go as you would have liked them to go. For some, there were some things that were concealed. You see, you've got the curtain pulled down over, you know, the shades are turned down on the window. Conversations did not go as you thought, as you planned. So because of that, there was some excessive attachment to the past. Okay, so for some, there's this relationship, connection, love interest between this man and a woman, and he was excessively attached to his past. You see, he's looking toward the past, she's looking toward the future. So he was attached to his past with someone else, with another woman. Conversations were not going well with her, things were not moving forward. This is actually a conversation between a family, which is interesting because this is family celebration, but things were not going as he'd liked, but he's totally attached to that. It's not the same woman. Okay, so you know how this is talking about relationships of you don't give up, you're about to give up. She's given up. Okay. So this is about a woman giving up on a relationship with a man because she perceives that he has been attached to a lover from his past. And he's been excessively attached to his past. And because of that, she has given up on him. She thinks it's dead and over. Ah, that's funny. It's funny how the cards say the exact same thing that they're saying. L'amante. And this is C12. And this card is the lover. And it's and they say that this is supposed to be like a woman that's, you know, she's shy and she's hiding her fondness for someone, but it's requited love. It's almost like she's looking at a time watch, almost as though time's running out. But it is talking also about love. It's talking about a requited love. So for some, this love that, you know, you've given up on, you think that it's dead, there's no chance. He's stuck up on someone else from his past. There is a chance. Don't give up. Okay, final cards. We're going to wrap this up. I got some people coming over for dinner. I'm so excited. Okay, so if you are in situation 1, I'd like you to think of a question real quick. And then I'm going to flip a card over. And if I've not already answered, oh my gosh, we're at an hour. If I've not already answered your question, hopefully this will answer it for you. So, situation 1, do you have your question in your mind? Okay. Yes. And hopefully you can see that with no glare. Okay. People in situation 2. Think of a question. You got it? You ready? Don't stop. Don't stop. They're sounding the trumpets. Okay. Hopefully that helps all of you. I hope you have an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, blessings, and lots of luck. Let's look at our little coins. What do our coins say? Oh. Probably won't zoom in, but a 4-leaf clover for good luck. So I hope you all have a week filled with lots of luck, love, joy. I hope it's a good one. I'll talk with you again soon.